Hi, and welcome to Three Questions With. Got my friend Ali Joyce with us. Ali's a realtor. Can offer you some advice in the segment. Hey, Ali, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kevin, for having me.
So, Ali, you taught me an important lesson today about poker face. Because when I saw your video, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, you shouldn't let the seller know how much you like the house because you can't negotiate. Your point of view is different. So tell me your point of view.
Yeah, so it's such an interesting point. What I recommend to my clients is have what I call a polite poker face. So you want to actually act like you like the house. You don't want to insult any features about the house, even if you don't like it and you're not going to put an offer in at all. And the reason for that is the listing agent doesn't want to perceive you as being difficult because they won't want to get your offer accepted. That doesn't mean we're not going to advocate throughout the entire transaction for you, but it's just important that we get that initial offer accepted and that the listing agent then becomes an advocate for us. We want to disarm the listing agent so that they want to actually make us happy instead of the seller and see our perspective. So that actually sets the groundwork up for a really successful transaction. So what I say is don't give away anything material. You know, don't say, that's right.
That's okay. That's awesome.
Okay, so that's the boss. So she's the one who teaches me all of this stuff anyway. So we want to not give away anything material because information is our currency in negotiations. So we want to gather material information about the seller and what their motivations are so that when we communicate our ask, we're communicating it in a way where the seller is going to hear us because it's in their language, so to speak.
Got it.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it definitely does. Like you said, because when we had that conversation, I'm like, I never thought it from her perspective. But again, you see that now with people, you know, they want to sell their home to a family. They're like, oh my God, I was just like Ali when I was that age. You know, the way you can connect with them, they may pick your offer because you did a better job connecting. It makes perfect sense. You can see you know, oh, they have 3 kids like we did. Oh my God, they're going to love this house. Super cool. The other thing I saw as escalation clauses. Can we talk a little bit about that and the pros and cons of using them?
Definitely. So what an escalation clause is a supplemental document to your offer. So please know that it has to be it has its own form, and it's important that you present it in that way. And what it basically outlines is that you are willing to go so much over everyone else's over up until a certain point. So to throw some numbers at it, the listing price is 500 and you're going to go 5,000 over up until 550, let's say.
Yep.
So in order for that to be triggered, the listing agent needs to show you the offer that triggered that. And it can fall anywhere in between that 500 to 550 range. So the reason why I've been using escalation clause more often now than not is because we are in a very uncertain and rising environment. So we don't know, there are some properties that are literally going $100,000 over asking. And it's insane. And it doesn't even seem that justified. And then there are properties that you think would go well over asking and they're not. So I'm using an escalation clause to protect my clients and let the market determine what the price is. In last year's market, I didn't like using them because I felt that they showed your hand, because last year it was a bit of a more steadier market. We knew, okay, this is underpriced, it's going 20,000 over. I don't want to show them that I'm willing to go even more over that or something like that. So typically I don't like them because they show your hand, but right now I like them because it's allowing the market to dictate what the price is and helping my clients not overpay.
No, it makes perfect sense. So last question today is inspections. I'm hearing all sorts of people not doing home inspections. And maybe I'm just super conservative, Ali, but that scares me. Because how do you know if something major is wrong?
You don't. You absolutely don't know. And you have no recourse when you do not have an inspection. So it is so important, in my opinion, that unless you are a contractor or someone who maybe is a home inspector buying a house, that you have a home inspection. I'll tell you just a little story. I had clients and they had to have this house. We knew it was competitive, and they said, we're willing to waive the inspection. And I encouraged them not to, and I explained what could happen. And they insisted on waiving the inspection, and they got the offer accepted. And we found out after the offer was accepted, before the purchase and sale, that there's a sewage pipe that runs, the town sewage runs through their property, and actually leaked a few years before. So there was like it was filled with other people's sewage in their basement, and they had to completely redo the basement because of that. Now, that's something that if that came up in a home inspection, you might want to walk away.
Right, yeah.
If it came up in home inspection, you might have opportunity to do more due diligence.
Sure.
And we luckily, we had just some really kind people on the other side, because they did allow us to do that, but they had no legal responsibility to have to do anything for us.
Yeah.
So there are different ways that you can structure a home inspection to maybe make it a little bit looser, depending on your comfort level, to be more competitive. Or if you know the house is in good condition because all the systems are new, or let's say the other way, you're going to have to do a lot of work, you're okay with that, you have a big budget for that, but you just want to get it at this particular price. So there are ways that you can have different degrees of an inspection to be competitive.
Yep. So Ali, how can people reach out to you? How can they learn more?
So the best way to reach out to me is definitely my cell phone, which is 339-237-0783. Leave me a voicemail or shoot me a text. You can also email me at adudleyrealtor@gmail.com, ADUDLEYREALTOR@gmail.com.
Ali, really appreciate you taking a few minutes to jump on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you so much. It was so enjoyable. Take care.